Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Kept yourself nice and safe and was nice and busy. I had a lovely weekend, me and Sam. We had a very quiet weekend, chilled out. The weather wasn't too good, so we didn't really go out that much. But yeah, just sat in, chilled out indoors, watched a bit of TV, ate some good food, and watched quite a bit on TV, YouTube. Cheers, mate. I'm just reading the comments. Good day to you too, sir. Yeah, I might be doing a live later on. And the subject of what I'm going to be talking about is podcast wars. Yeah, podcast wars. Do you know what? This is the truth of the matter about podcast wars. I don't never want to be a part of any podcast wars. I don't want to fall out with anyone online. And if I did fall out with anyone, it wouldn't be online. It'd be face to face because I'm that type of a person where if I've got something to say to someone, I'll say it to their face exactly. And 9 times out of 10, it resolves the problems. But I found that when you argue online, it just makes things worse and worse and worse. And people, for some reason, people find the courage to become brave and to become something what they ain't in real life. It's all like make believe. So, for instance, Sean Atwood, he is a lovely, lovely guy, and you know he gave me the opportunity for going onto his platform, and I'm so grateful for that. Sean hasn't done nothing to me directly to hurt me or to mess me up in any way, shape or form, despite what anyone says. Everyone's got their own views, but I think Sean is a very, very nice man. He wears his heart on his sleeve and he actually gives people the opportunity to go onto his platform. And then what happens is these ex-convicts, myself too, but I ain't one what I'm going to be talking about now. Most ex-convicts, I've got a story, they go onto his channel, tell their story, and within a few months, they seem to fall out with Sean for some reason. Whether that is because Sean is the number one podcaster and he's a bit of competition, I'm not too sure. But the way I look at things, if someone gives you the opportunity to go onto their platform and go onto their channel and tell your story, you should be grateful for that and you shouldn't forget things like that. So that's how I feel about the whole thing. And another thing about podcasts is, do you know, a lot of people don't understand, and they don't understand until they've done their first podcast, and this included me. So basically, it's quite overwhelming when you do your first podcast, and for some reason, you open up and you tell your story exactly how it was, whether it's a good story or a bad story. For some reason, it just comes out and it flows natural. That might be because you're forgetting your surroundings, or you need to get these things off of your chest because you're in recovery. I always found speaking about things to people helps me in my recovery and things like that. So yeah, that's what normally happens. These guys have been in prison. They're going on to Sean's podcast and they're all falling out of him and basically slating him off, trying to slander his name. They're also trying to say that he's a Bertie Small. I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to get a strike on my channel. And he was arrested for fraud and things like that. I don't know where all this comes from. Everyone, it's out there in the open. It's on YouTube. It's all over social media. Look, Sean Atwood was arrested for supplying ecstasy, and it was out in Arizona. So I don't know where these stories are coming from these different people about he's this and he's that and he's this, but he isn't. He's a very nice man. I feel a little bit sorry for Sean, and to be honest with you, they do say that you've got to forgive your enemy to be able to move on with things. So, and that's what Sean's done. All I've seen Sean doing over the last few months is forgiving his enemies. And let's get it straight. They've said some really bad things about Sean and also about Sean's family too. You know, his direct family, his mum. You know, these podcasters, what have actually been onto Sean's channel, have actually given verbal, sending threatening texts and things like that to Sean and to his family. And I think that's absolutely despicable. You've got no respect for no one. Probably got no respect for yourself, to be honest with you. But that's how I feel about the situation. So, yeah, guys, I'm working on something at the minute. and I'll be dropping that content onto my channel in a bit. I just wanted to upload this video just to let everyone know that I'm in good working order. I'm in top form. I'm working on something, and I've got a nice surprise coming for you this afternoon, guys. Sean, he's got like 700,000 subscribers, but if anyone wants to come onto my channel to tell their story, then drop me a PM and we'll be able to sort this out, and maybe you'll be able to come on to my channel and tell your story. Like, I've had a few guests on recently. One of them was Emma Fenn, and she had an outstanding story. She's an outstanding lady, and she's in recovery and she's got her life back together. And, you know, I'm doing these type of podcasts not for gain in any shape or form. The reason why I'm doing the podcast, what I'm doing, is for awareness, and so that people don't follow my footsteps and don't think that committing crimes and taking drugs is glamorous. But yeah, I checked my phone this morning. I've got loads and loads of comments. People like to hear different stories about prison for some reason. My book's still doing well, by the way. A South London Balls to Boys Tales. That's on Amazon. I've got quite a few author copies at home with me. So if anyone wants one of them, a signed copy, drop me a PM and we can get this sorted out. And I normally do it next day delivery. Whereas if you buy it on Amazon, you've probably got to wait a few days, because Amazon only print out once they've been paid. So basically, if you buy 3 or 4 books off Amazon, you won't get them until they've actually been printed and sent. So it's a little bit longer. So if anyone wants the first copy of my book, drop me a PM. Over the weekend, I've been putting lots and lots and lots of words into my second book. And it's really, really, really exciting stuff. And the second book is going to be totally different from the first book. My first book was more like an autobiography type of thing, but the second book is more up to date, and it's gone from, I'm going from 2010. So since I got out of jail, since I've got myself clean and reformed myself. So I've got so many good stories, so many good people going in it, and so many like different places where I've been to. And yes, like, you know, the opportunities what I've got since I've got my life back together is unbelievable. I couldn't even try to explain to you how many different opportunities I've got. But yeah, I've had a DBS check, an enhanced DBS check done recently, and I passed with flying colours. So I'm good to go into schools, youth clubs, young offenders prisons, and bits like that as a motivational speaker. And that's my goal. To do that, to go onto them platforms as a motivational speaker. So if any of you guys are a manager, or you work in a youth club or anything like that, and you would like me to come along and do a talk, then please drop me a PM. This is all free, obviously. So yeah, I'll be more than happy to come along and do that with you guys. But for now, stay safe, have a good day. Don't forget to hit the little bell down the bottom of the screen to get notified on every single video which I upload. You'll be the first ones to be notified of that. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, give me a share and subscribe to keep my channel alive. Peace.